Hi, my name is Nicole Tyler, and this is my essay entitled From Pretty Boy to Bad Boy, a brief examination of the re-iconification of Chris Brown as told through YouTube archives. For the purpose of this brief video, I will be highlighting the following: Chris Brown's career prior to 2009, the Rihanna controversy, fans' reactions and responses, Chris Brown's, quote, reinvention post-2009, and lastly, a potential of pattern behavior as testified to by Karrueche Tran, leading us to one final look at the way in which Chris Brown is able to maintain his status as an iconic artist.
Yeah, who would've thought this little dude right here? Chris Brown, pissy boy from Tappahannock, Virginia. I ain't think this voice would get me this far. God put a fast one.
Chris Brown began making music back in 2005, where Intro was the first track of his self-titled album. At 15, this was a monumental moment in his career, and just about everyone was rooting for him, as seen in many of the artists featured on the Chris Brown album. He was labeled as a pretty boy and the future of R&B. With over a dozen of hits and crowd favorites within his first year in the industry, Brown's career was looking up, all of which changed in February 2009, when Brown was charged with assault after an altercation with then-girlfriend and fellow musician Rihanna, which left her with multiple broken bones, bruises, a swollen face, and a black eye. It said Rihanna was unrecognizable post-assault. While news of Brown's actions took a hit on his career in terms of record labels backing out on him, many of his fans came to his defense. One of the most notable defenses Chris Brown received was uploaded nearly 3 weeks after the incident, in which YouTuber Yeman's Finest 23 claimed that Rihanna, quote, beat herself up because Chris would not join her religion, end quote, as seen in the screen cap from the video. Along with this YouTuber, many others came to Brown's defense, claiming they knew that he couldn't have harmed Rihanna because, as his fans, they knew more than anyone else. They knew what he was capable of. And one commenter went so far to assert that they could feel it and know that he was a good person. The only thing more disturbing than this video and the support is seeing that even 5 years after the initial case, Brown's fans were defending him, and they were the top comments on the video that is now 7 years old. It's as if Brown is forever the teenager just starting out, and his fans want to keep him that innocent. Despite losing a portion of his fan base, as well as many radio supporters, Brown was still successful in the year 2009. After an accidental track, Changed Man, was leaked via YouTube in August, that may have won back his fans and Rihanna. Changed Man, sample to follow, serves as Brown's public apology that was taken as a much more sincere one than the clearly scripted one he made earlier in the year.
But I'ma make it up to you and show the world I'm a changed man. 'Cause you mean that much to me. I don't wanna be down. I'm doing all that I can. And everybody hates Chris. They can never understand. So give me love, 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 give me love again. Girl, I know I told you, baby, this ain't over. This ain't over. It ain't over.
Playing with the concept of everybody hates Chris Brown created a catchy chorus and refrain to express his sincerest apologies and to wish to continue courting Rihanna, ending the song with a fading out of the phrase, "It ain't over," which, while I'm sure it was intended to be read as an endearing way of Brown's undying love for Rihanna, given events since, I'd say it's a foreshadowing to abuse to come against other women, such as Karrueche Tran. Changed Man was only the beginning of Brown's career post-2009. By December of that year, he'd created a whole new look, one the Watch Mojo states, quote, trades in his boyish charm for tattoos, blonde hair, and a bad boy attitude, end quote. Brown still produced an album that year entitled Graffiti, and while it was significantly less successful than his previous albums, it was still nominated for 2 Grammys, despite the crime he'd committed 10 months prior. As a way to further enforce his, quote, new image, Brown collaborated with Rihanna on remix music, all of which led his fans to continue supporting Brown. This new and enticing bad boy narrative has proven to be extremely successful for Chris. His most successful album, Fame, dropped in 2011, and he's been thriving ever since. Though Brown's career took off yet again, and with most of the Rihanna stuff behind him and adoring fans pushing his art forward, he's not entirely free of his actions. Rather, he's seen as an artist and not a person capable of making bad choices. So then, what happens when in the 7 years post-Rihanna, Brown has faced not one, but 2 other abuse allegations? Earlier this year, The Drop did a segment addressing Karrueche Tran, another of Brown's former partners, whom recently served Brown with papers for a permanent restraining order after recounting similar events of abuse and controlling behavior.
This comes after Karrueche alleges Chris said that he would shoot her, and that he also posted online if he couldn't have her, no one could.
If I love you, bitch, ain't nobody gonna have you. I'm gonna make you miserable. I'm gonna chase that nigga out. I'm gonna chase your ass around.
Now, Karrueche alleges that Chris Brown punched her in the stomach and threw her down a set of stairs, basically saying that he's been just as violent to her as he has been to Rihanna.
As if the Rihanna incident wasn't bad enough, there are now multiple other accounts of abuse following this man. Yet his fans are still #TeamBreezy, and when you look up his name in the YouTube search bar, it takes you to millions of results, all of which are his music. Though Chris has had more than his fair share in the spotlight for negative reasons, all of which are so far within the YouTube archive that without specific keywords, you would likely never find them, thus making it possible for Brown's highlighted moments to serve as the face of his career and keep his fans continually supporting him, even if it means going to extreme lengths, such as creating alternative videos with, quote, true stories, or leaving comments about the truths they know and hold to be self-evident, based on the Chris Brown that they believe in, rather than the one being presented through various other forms of media. To quote Jesse Parent, a spoken word artist who did a poem entitled The Crowd's Choice, where he talks about this very phenomenon, quote, "Justice will never find you if you can hide in the face of a mob's love," end quote. And Brown is doing a pretty good job of hiding.